That is amazing. Now, I had no clue you were going to mention Tony Robbins. But Anthony Robbins, not even Tony Robbins. At the time, you must have known him. It was Anthony Robbins, right? It was
yes.
Then. I mean, we're talking cassette tapes. Does anybody even know what they are? I started with Tony Robbins too, so that's amazing.
Yeah. And same thing. I had cassette tapes of his, and when I moved, Joanne, I gave them to my nephews, and they're like, and I had a whole bunch. I had Brian Tracy, I had Les Brown, and they were all cassette tapes, like these big book things that you would put on the shelf, but you'd open up and it'd be 8 cassette tapes. And he goes, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, how do you play it? And then I literally had to go and buy him a cassette player to just stick the little cassette in there to play, because it was just gems. I'm like, you have $100,000 education here with all the books on tape that I had. And again, it was literally books on tape. Now we get them on a Kindle, we get them on Audible. But that's really how I would learn, Joanne, when I would drive 45 minutes to the social work job that I had up in several group homes that we would do that, but all the way up northern New Jersey from where I was. And that was my school on wheels. And that's how we could learn. We didn't have all the things that we have now, but that's how I learned. And I just started transforming my mind and going, oh, I can help a lot more people with the technology that he shared, the NLP, the neuro-linguistic programming. And what was interesting too, Joanne, that it's funny that you started talking about my social work background, because a lot of people don't know that I was a social worker before I was a social video consultant.
It doesn't surprise me that you come from serving. It doesn't surprise me in the least, but it makes more sense now.
Yeah. And so when I was learning in the social work industry, right? I graduated from college, but like you only learn stuff in books. Once you learn from a mentor and learn with real clients, that was when my whole thinking shifted on how I coach people. And my mentor at the time introduced me to Chloe Madonis. And Chloe is the woman who she kind of does the breakdowns of Anthony Robbins seminars. She actually did one, it was almost a bootleg cassette during 9/11. He was doing a seminar and 9/11 happened and the Trade Center, the towers went down. And he had 2 people on stage that everywhere else would be natural born enemies. And he literally did this breakthrough with them, and everyone in the audience was just spellbound and watching these 2 people that would be enemies come together as friends. And then they started something that was inspiring. And then there was a bootleg tape of that, because Tony Robbins was not a fan of anything being recorded. There's a docu-series right now, but that was only recent that he ever let a video player or a camcorder come in and actually film it. And it was a phenomenal docu-series. I think it was I'm Not Your Guru on Netflix. I think it's still available. But this was a bootleg. Yeah, Not Your Guru. You will love this. He transforms people thinking about suicide, thinking about divorce, and they go through an absolute transformation right in front of your eyes. And what's great is as he's coaching people, you learn in the audience, because the human condition is the same. We're all going through the same types of pains and struggles. Same thing with business ownership. It's all the same. It's just couched in different stories and different descriptions, but otherwise the fundamental problems we all share. So this bootleg tape went around, and Chloe would basically break down what he was doing with the 2 people on stage. And you really didn't know how it was going to go, because these people right at the moment, everyone in the audience, they were on just high alert, so to speak. It's like, wow, this is wartime. This is horrible. This is catastrophe. And as you can imagine, everyone was emotional. People knew people in the towers. People were wondering if their family was safe, if they made it out. So emotions were at its peak. And here Tony was with a job to say, okay, I have a conference going on for radical transformation for people's lives, but this just happened. Do we cancel? Do we not? And it turned out to just be an amazing transformation. And yet Chloe Madonis was the one who broke it down. And that's who I learned from in the early days. And her ideas were radical. People in traditional psychology in the textbook would probably say, no, you can't do that. Again, therapy takes a lot of time. And I just became that coach that said, we can change this in an instant. We can have one session and transform you. We do a lot of stuff being comfortable on video. So it's, let's get you confident and comfortable on camera in a session. Like, let's not wait months and months and months until you get like, let's break through. And even before we chatted and we started this recording, Joanne, you and I were talking about like the mental shifts, and that's all it is. It's mental shifts that we have in our mind that either make us nervous and jittery and not in a good state, or confident and able to be in that good state to perform well on stage, or to do a really good reel or a TikTok or whatever it is. It's our mental state. And you've got it, Joanne, by the way. You've got
mindset.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't mean I don't get nervous, because that's absolutely the little voice inside my head. I have a committee, and the committee argues once in a while, but I try to win.